All right, this is Introvert Barry from Introverted Lifestyle. And today we're on another stroll. Um, see, when I walked outside, I think it was about 57 degrees. For some reason, it feels like it's getting colder. Okay, but anyway, it's Sunday, and last Sunday when we went on the stroll, it was everything was closed. I'm gonna walk around and see what's happening today. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna record. I'm just kind of like want to make sure I get some content out there. One thing that I will mention as maybe the topic for this discussion is overthinking, and it's something I do a lot of. Overthinking is one of the one of the things that we as introverts tend to do, especially on the INFJ side. Um, and again, I'm a work in progress, just like probably many of you who are listening. If you're here, then I probably resonate with you, and we have some things in common. That's usually would be the only reason why you'd be here. It's because we're going through some of the same things, right? And it's good to be able to discuss these things and learn together how we can become better. You know, there's nothing wrong with being an introvert, right? A lot of the qualities that we have are, you know, are great, you know, for our personality. It's just that finding the right balance is always going to be the key, you know, between your introversion and trying to be more extroverted. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is strike a balance. Again, as INFJs, we're all the way at the bottom of the spectrum, so far from introversion, so far from the center. And so just trying to find that side of you, side of us, right, that allows us to go out and be a part of the environment and be comfortable in it. You know, that's what we're doing. Just trying to find some comfort in being outside in this noisy world that we're in. Cars going by, people all around us, right? Gotta be able to find that comfort and enjoy, all that life has to offer. That's the key, is enjoying life. Now you may see a tear or two here on my right side, and it's kind of the eye that always leaks when I'm outside and the wind starts to hit me. And once it starts going, it just keeps going. So just pretend you don't see it. All right. So let's flip this around and we'll kind of see where we're going. I'll try to hold this camera a little more steady than I did last time. I tried to turn it, I don't know, different between landscape and portrait. I think this is landscape and the other way is portrait. I don't know. But I tried to turn it the other way, and I was hitting buttons and stuff in the back, and turning it off. There goes the tear. So we'll try not to mess this up and try to get some good footage of walking around here. We're still in Nanjangri. I gotta go too far. I'm not gonna hold you too long. But as you can see already, there's more traffic than we had last week. Second and fourth Sunday, a lot of the shops closed down, and so it's not so much activity. This Sunday, there's cars everywhere. I'm just kind of looking around. If I just stare at this camera, I might run into a tree or something, like that one I just passed up. All right. Ooh, and these cobblestones get me every now and then. So if I fall down, that would make a great TikTok video. So I'll try not to. Although that would make me TikTok famous almost instantly. But who wants to go through that embarrassment? All right, so let's flip this thing around and see where we're going. All right, you probably are familiar with this. This is my normal pattern. When I go out and go walking, I just kind of take this little trail here. It's a few blocks. I don't know if I'll go straight. Normally you turn right here, but the wind's hit me right in the face this direction. So I might want to turn off and let some of these buildings soak up that wind. Maybe not. Let's cross the road. Let's go see what's happening over here. Try not to get hit by a car. All right. Maybe I'll sing you a song along the way. Maybe. And I still want to do my TikTok video of the what I call, they say it's the funny dance, as most of the people that hashtag say. I call it the waiting on the bus TikTok video. You do a search for that and that's what you'll see. Some people are pretty creative in that dance. I think it's funny. You know, every one of them, I save every one of them, right? If you go on my TikTok page, you'll see that I've reposted a lot of those that I run across. I think it's like really cool and funny. And there's Jack's electric scooter. If you need an electric scooter, there's one right here. La Salade. You would think that would be French. Burger and Barbecue House. Where am I at? Over there. Burger and Barbecue House. Brewery. Butchers. Push your bikes. Put your little scooter running around town. So we're coming up around the corner where we'll be like butt up against the installation, the base Camp Humphreys. If you're not familiar, so I don't know how much commentary I'll be doing. Basically, it's a nature walk. I don't know why the temperature dropped so fast. I had my kids over this weekend. They came over for a little sleepover, and that was a good thing. Much needed to be able to hang out with them. We, like last night, we watched some movies, ate some popcorn, stayed up pretty late, and it was just good to be around them. You know, I don't see them as often as I'd like to. It's not that their fault, it's my fault. So we're trying to make this something that's more of a consistent thing, is for them to come over, hang out with me, keep the bond strong. You don't realize how much you lose from not being around your kids, for a while. And they're growing every day. And you don't want to miss those moments, right? You don't want to miss those moments. Because I made that mistake once already with my oldest daughter. And thank God for her that she pretty much has forgiven me. And we have the best relationship we've ever had. Aside from when she was younger, as she got older, that's when things start to change a little bit, because I was distant, wasn't keeping in contact, and so that changed a lot of that relationship. And again, my fault, but trying to do better. All I can do is try to get better with relationships, better in life, So, OMG Motors. And right on the other side of that garage is the base. So, and up around the corner would be the walking gate, which is big entrance for pedestrians. That I cannot show you, because my job is as a government employee, is OPSEC, Operation Security. And so I will not dare present any vulnerabilities assets and operational capabilities. This could actually turn into an OPSEC lesson. I give that training like once a quarter. I give training on operations security, which a lot of people kind of find that, you know, for somebody who's shy and introverted, right? How do you stand up in front of a crowd of people and give a presentation? That I cannot explain other than, you know, it's my job. I have to do it. And I just found comfort in it, right? I can stand up in front of people that I feel like I know, right? Feel like they're family. Most of the people know me where I work at. It's a large organization, but most people, you know, they either know me personally, they know the name, they know my position, they know what to do. And so there's a little more comfort in doing that, stand up in front of those folks, right, and teaching them, giving them lessons, than it would for me to, you know, stand up in front of a crowd of folks I don't know. Which brings me to the thing I like to tell people all the time, like when I talk to folks, right? Like what would you like to do, accomplish, you know, in your life? I'd like to give a TED video, TED Talk. That would be so cool. I'm a TED Talk, TED freak. I don't know what you want to call these. TEDies. I don't know. Whatever you call them. I'm one of those guys. My nose is starting to run. You can probably hear my breathing too. A lot of times, like say when you give it a presentation, right? Don't go up and apologize, you know, for whatever. Because you just bring light to to something that most people probably didn't even notice, you know. So you never go up there and say, "Hey, I'm nervous today. This is my first time." Well, now they see your nerves. They didn't before. It was only you. So I don't know what I was just saying, but anyway, it's a ramble. It's a rant. I actually had a podcast called The Rant, right? And I would just get on there and I would just talk. And about anything. You know, nothing in particular was on my mind at that time. And I would just kind of just go from there. Didn't last very long. A lot of things I do. It's like I had this great idea. Yeah, let's do that. Sounds good. And then I'll start doing it and all of a sudden, yeah, let's do something else. Don't have a whole lot of consistency in anything I do, I guess, at this point. Introverted lifestyle is actually an example.
Well, they're also...
Ben, I started this a long time ago, mostly as a blog, right? That's what I do a lot of, is I write a lot. I have books that I've written that have never been released. And I have tons of blog posts and things I've done for both for that, you know, domain and that site. Even on my Facebook page, you can see a lot of those blog posts. They're still there. And once I kick that off again, because I can go back and I kept the files for the site, that at some point I'll get my hosting back up and I'll bring back some of that old content and then mix it with the things I'm doing now. Mostly everything I'm doing at this point is all video. Big difference in what I've ever done, things I've done in the past. Never been that big on video, as I've always enjoyed the behind the scenes thing, right? And I think by doing a blog versus a vlog is that I don't have to worry about folks judging me, you know. One of the problems and things I have is I feel like people are judging me, you know. I have flaws, just like everybody else. We all have flaws. But I used to take to heart the things that people would say. And I was just recently. What was that? Oh, I was listening to this. I'm in a marketing class, right? And class that cost me like over 60. Well, I don't want to say. It cost me a lot to join this course, right? And I'm in the final week of that training. So you'll see some of my other stuff I'm doing, my advertising agency that I've started. You'll see that mixing that in together with the things I do on my personal side here, because they're fairly similar. But anyway, he said a number of times, right, throughout the course, that why worry about somebody who doesn't know you, right? You know, when you create content, right? There's always going to be people there's going to be people out there, right, who disagree, who just critical, no matter what, right? People are going to say nasty things, right? And they do it, just because, they could be right in some of the things that they're saying, right? And then some people just nasty just to be nasty, right? They're just out there to be who they are, which is toxic people, right? And so you got to ignore that, right? If it's not somebody you know, right, then why even care? I mean, why even respond? I mean, why waste your time even responding to them, some of that stuff? I had one time I created a video, and it was I don't know, it was like had something to do with marketing and sales and stuff like that. I think I was probably, as a man thinketh, I think maybe the one I was doing, right? And I had recorded the footage from a presentation done back in the, I don't know, when was that? It was black and white, so it was 50s and 60s. I don't know what it was, but so I had that video up, and I was just kind of letting it play, and then I would inject, my thoughts, right? And again, I was rambling, just going on, and I was nervous, right? Really nervous. I was on screen. I never had any comfort in being on screen. And so I was speed talking through, information that I had prepared in my mind to present. But again, when you're on video, you're trying to get done with it as quickly as possible, right? So you're like, hey, let me put this information out, right? And you're speeding through your sentences there, your thoughts, the things you want to put out. And this one girl commented, and she said something along the lines of, "Well, somebody shut this man up," or something like that. And I saw that comment, right? Didn't get very many comments, so it wasn't like it was something mixed up in a large group of commenters, right? It was only 2 or 3 comments. Most of the people that did comment, the ones that actually watched it, was like, good presentation, way to go, keep it up, positive vibes and things like that, right? But there was that one that stood out, and that's the one that I'm talking about right now. And it's of all the good things that could have come out of that, right? It was that one negative comment that just messed up everything for me, right? I'm like, damn. So now I gotta start judging myself, right? You're not good enough, right? You're terrible. This is a waste of time. Why are you doing this? This is not for you. Although I love marketing and sales, I've always have. I did better in the 1.0 era than I have in 2.0 and 3 and whatever we're at right now. But when I was behind the scenes creating content and making sales before the era of people need to see you and know you and all that stuff, right? I was doing really well. I was making all kinds of money. As soon as I had to put my face on there, that's when everything started to go south. It went south for a very long time. And so I'm back in the game again. Have proper training, knowledge and expertise. Been doing this for over 30 years, right? And there's been breaks in between, right? And there's been failure. I mean, I went into bankruptcy for my business back in, what was that, 2019, right? Put me in bankruptcy. So after that, I kind of quit. I stopped, This is my passion. Well, I mean, not like introverted lifestyle is my passion. Introverted lifestyle is my life. But the business side of things, marketing and advertising, I went to school for this stuff, right? I will tell you that although I say I have a bachelor's in business administration, marketing, I have one class I didn't do. I'm one class away from actually having my degree. But you know what? I mean, I don't need it really. I have a career. I have a government career that I've done, right? And that's kind of the reason why a lot of times when I always had that fallback that I could quit because I had a fallback. Decent job, decent pay, earning well over the average, better than average, just from my job alone. So marketing, although my passion, I had a way out. If that was all I was doing, I would have never quit doing that because that was the only thing that was keeping me afloat. That was the only way for me to feed myself and my family. Then I probably would have pushed myself a lot harder and been more consistent. And actually, I probably would have succeeded in that a lot sooner than where I'm at right now. And this is where I live again. So we took that block. I always take this block here and I go up there. Last time we went in this direction over here, up that road. I'm trying to see if there's just more I want to talk about, because if it is, I might as well just continue to talk, and then we'll come back and discuss some other things, right? Kind of on a roll, so I think I want to keep walking. I feel good. Weather's nice, not too cold. What you say? Want to keep walking? Let's keep walking. Let's go by the steakhouse. I might take you even further. I might take you over to the area where I used to live, which is a Geksari. Namsan de Lomapatmeta. Actually, that's in Seoul. The Geksari, the apartment high rise I live in, kind of mimics and looks like the one here. So, well, Geksari apartments over there kind of look like the one I lived in Seoul. Sometimes I get them mixed up. But anyway, so I'm back in the game again in my marketing side. I finished the course on this coming Tuesday. I'm in Korea, so it's Wednesday my time. I'll be a graduate of the course. I will receive a certificate. I will be a licensed advertising guru, phenom. I've learned a lot in that course, right? And again, it wasn't like it was a cheap course or something, right? It was expensive. And so you expect to be able to learn something to come out of that course with some valuable tools, knowledge, and with some professional oh, sorry. Some I don't know, to be able to be a knowledgeable, proficient, effective marketer. That's the best way I can say it. Sometimes I get my tongue tied, and I lose my words. Later, when I'm rewatching these videos, I realize that word should have been this, right? It's like on the spot type of things, right? I think when you're trying to find the right word, and then you get kind of nervous and confused, right? You're like, hey, this is live. It just looks a little bad sometimes, but who cares? I'm an introvert. I do try to be as I try to present something that's of value, something that is perfect. We're perfectionists, and so we tend to do that. But sometimes we show our vulnerabilities, and that's just kind of the way it is. So, the barbecue smells good. Did I pass it already? I know it's right up the road here. I'm not a perfect person, which, hey, the song almost came out. And I just might do that as soon as I pass these people up right here. I'm not a perfect person. There we go. I'll give you that one-liner. Because there's my high notes I won't be able to hit. And I don't want to take you through that pain. But I like that song. What's that? Hooba Stank. Anyway, I love music. Music is my fallback. I have my own little playlist I have out there that people subscribe to, and then I just like listening to music, right? You know, different genres. I do prefer old school R&B, pop, hip hop, the old school stuff, right? You know, I'm a big Mariah Carey fan. Every Mariah Carey song ever produced and released, I watch. And then there's like some other bands and things, and I have a long list of Babyface is another one, right? R&B. A lot of the older songs from R&B are just really at the top of my list. But I listen to everything, right? Top 40, you know, like I say, the pop hits. Today's music, I like Taylor Swift. You know, who doesn't like Taylor Swift? You know, who else is out there? This is this guy from Atlanta, and this is a hip hop side. I can't forget his name. I heard a song from him not too long ago. It was this guy, right? Atlanta's a different kind of music. Music come out of Atlanta. I don't know what they call it, but it's a different sound. They have a different sound. And I heard this guy, young kid, and he was with what's my guy's name? You got me. I'm on the spot here. What's his name? My man with the grill. I think he's from like Louisiana, somewhere down the south. Birdman, what's his name? Wheezy, but man, I'm bad at this. A lot of times I can listen to a lot of music, right, not know who the artist is, just for the sound, right? Sometimes you listen to things for the sound, and then you're like, who was that? I don't know who that was, but it sounded good. And you hope you can find the song later. But anyway, so right up the road here is my old place. I hope that where we're at, 28 minutes. How long can we go? It's an hour last time. I promise you, if you stay with me, I will not keep this an hour long. But you only stay with me if you find some comfort in what I'm saying. And this, for me right now, it's just a conversation. Sharing things with you, right? It started out as, I don't know what it started out as walk. And also, I think I was making the point about overthinking. So it has become a rant again, pretty much. But as we go through this rant, right, you can kind of have a look around at the scene. You know, if you've never been to South Korea, I love being here. I've been here, what, 1, 2, this is my 4th tour, right? 1995, 1996, I was here. I was up north. I can say that after that first time I was here, 95, 96, I was like, I hate this place. I'm never coming back to Korea. But it was the unit. You know, I was in the military. It's the unit I was in. The restrictions that we had. It was hard to really enjoy being in Korea from there. Right, there were so many restrictions, and so I was just, you know, I never want to come back to Korea. 95, 96. So in 2001, I'm on assignment to come back to Korea. I'm like, crap, got to go back to Korea, right? And I get here, and I'm in Seoul this time. Yongsan. I'm at Yongsan base. And I'm like, this is different. I'm in the heart of Seoul, right? So much to do. Less restrictions, right? Didn't have that stupid curfew. Not for a while, anyway. And I was like, this is totally a different place. And I got out with some friends, my introverted self. But I got out with some friends, and I had the time of my life. 2001 to 2003. Didn't want to leave, but can only extend for a year because I was only supposed to be here from 2001 to 2002, and then so I extended to leave in 2004. So it was a 2-year tour, and I left in 2003, and I was 6 months into my new assignment at Fort Lewis, which is now referred to as JBLM, Joint Base Lewis McChord. And I was there for 6 months, and I'm on assignment again. Sit across without dying. I was on assignment again for Korea, and I was like, "What the? That doesn't normally happen, right? You normally get probably a 2-year stabilization before they, send you back overseas." And here I am, 6 months. I'm on assignment again to go to Korea. And what was that? In February of 2004. So I didn't even spend a year and a half by the time I actually left there. I got there in February 2003. I got to Fort Lewis in February 2003. And I came back to Korea. Hold on, maybe I'm messing up my timeline. Something seems different. Anyway, I got here in February 2004, I do believe. I have to check my timeline. I'm not supposed to be walking on this red light, but I am. Again, hope I don't die. There's little parks everywhere. You walk around. Koreans have these little parks here. Places you can exercise, right? You'll see some of the exercise things over there. You can see through these woods over here. And I swear to God, I've never seen so many senior folks out here walking, doing the trails on these little exercise machines here. I don't know. A lot of these people, you're like, that's why they live so long, right? They're active, That's why they have these things here. But anyway, so I came back in 2004. And I stayed all the way to 2015. It's about 10 and a half years. My tour then. Part of that was I spent 5 years. My last 5 years in the military here, or 5.5 actually, 5.5 years in the military. Retired. Came on board almost instantly. There was a hiring freeze that kind of held me up a little bit, but let's see, December 2009. I got out of the military September 2009, and the hiring freeze lasted all the way to December. Finally came on board as a government, civilian employee, working on the Army side, and I stayed here again till March 2015. March 2015. Went to Fort Knox, Kentucky. Stayed there almost 5 years exact. Just short by a couple of weeks. Because in 2020, February 2020, 15th of February to be precise, I was hired. I was hired back in December, right? But my report date was February 15th. And so, boarded the plane with my family and back in Korea again. And I was here about 2 weeks, and then beginning of March, COVID hit and everything shut down. And I guess you all know how that went. COVID thing was scary, you know. And I can't knock on wood because I'm walking and I don't see any wood right now. But I never got it. My family, my daughter, I think she was a contact, but she never really had COVID. So my whole family didn't get it. So, and I'm kind of fortunate for that. You know, we were always masked up. We were masked when we left the States in February of 2020. We were wearing masks before. We started actually wearing masks earlier than that. My wife, she was buying masks and stuff right before people even thought about it. Spraying us down when we come in the house. I thought it was silly. But I didn't end up with COVID, so apparently it worked, you know. And, while everybody else was laughing at us, walking around with masks and spraying everything, and we survived that, right? Because that was brutal for a lot of people, you know. A lot of folks died in that during that period, and so, you know, it's unfortunate. But anyway, I probably should have took that other road. There's one busy road over here, a busy area within Gexari that will bring some light, some excitement, some entertainment, because right now, again, it's just a stroll, you know, and it's just me talking and not a whole lot to see at this point. I'm getting a workout out of this. It's always good. It's always good to get fit. It's also, again, all this stuff right points back to me and my personality type. Something like this I'd never wanted to do before. Just get out and walk. Surely not be on video, but you know, get out and walk and see the environment. I don't really care too much, right? Only time I ever went out was me going out to get a drink somewhere, right? You know, when you're drinking, it's a totally different experience. Personality out the window, liquid courage. Your personality tends to change, right? So going out and drinking and all that stuff, right? I could even be out by myself when I do that, as long as you know, I can get those first few drinks down and start to stop thinking about the people around me, lighten up a bit, transition into my altered me. So, but just naturally being sober. My therapist told me, right, because every woman I ever met, in most cases, I met while I was drunk, you know. And if you know my story, I have a lot of women problems. A lot of problems in my relationships, 3 divorces. Or I keep saying 2.5. I'm not officially divorced, I'm separated. But that's going to happen. Just a matter of when we decide to do it. Because the financial benefits is in us just kind of hanging in there until the right moment. I think what we tell ourselves is that once the other person falls into something that they consider to be serious, then sure enough, we'll go ahead. Or if we just can't stand each other because we're better friends now than we ever were in our relationship, in our marriage, we can at least talk to each other. There's only certain topics that we discuss that kind of, you know, makes things a little more difficult, right? But for the most case, you know, we're pretty civil with each other, and that's a good thing. Good to have her as a friend, as opposed to an enemy. Much nicer person as a friend. So, but still, you know, I still piss off a little bit, you know, especially with some of these relationships I've been in lately. Some of these people she's warned me about, like, and I just kind of say, hey, let me figure this thing out on my own, right? You know, I know I'm up in age, right? But shoot, man, I've been married for 30 years, right? And that's counting all three of my wives, right? Kind of been married the whole time. I went from marriage to marriage to marriage, right? Without a break. So this dating thing is still new to me. And this dating thing in this new generation, this new era, is way, way totally different than what I ever remember. Remember. That's my old place. I used to stay up in those sky rises there. Right up in there. Well, 104 actually is the one I used to live in. We'll be close to that in a second. But I like flowers and plants. The dating scene is different. I can tell you that the first time, I used to go to this bakery all the time. Good bakery. I remember the first time I met somebody online. I went to some crazy dating site. I don't remember what it was, right? And it's instantly, you know, as soon as I signed up, I was getting all kinds of messages, right? Messages popping up, people trying to connect with video. I think the thing with that is that I think they earn money, right, from getting you to actually do a subscription, right? And so they have these people that just pop up. Hey, such and such wants to contact or wants to connect with you, right? And I was like, crap, what is this, man? I was just blown away. This is wild, right? So anyway, I met this one girl, right? Young girl, too young for me to be even talking to, but she was, I don't know. She connected with me, and then she's like, hey, what are you doing, right? I was in shock, right? Hey, what are you up to? What are you doing? Blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm just trying to figure this thing out, you know, trying to meet people. She said, hey, you want to come over? And I'm like, huh? Right? Can't be this easy, can it? You know? Yeah, come over. I'll send you my address, right? I'll pin it to Waze or something, right? I don't even know what the hell that meant, right? And I was like sitting there like, it's like 2 a.m, right? Like, what the hell? I'm like, man, what is this? And I said, at that time I was actually still living at home back when that happened, right? So I was like, I got to get up at 2 a.m. and leave out, and that leads to questions and stuff, right? I said, I don't know about this, right? I said, come over. What do you drink? What do you like? You know, I'll get you some drinks and stuff, right? And I was like, freaking terrified, actually, man. I was like, I didn't know. That was weird to me because I don't think that's the way things are supposed to happen that way. But this is that new generation of, you know, friends with benefits, Netflix and chill. What's the other one? There's some other acronyms I had to learn that's out there. And so I said, sure, yeah, whatever, right? But I had no intent of going over there, right? I just kind of wanted to get off the video, first of all, because it was video. And secondly, you know, get my composure, my mind together, because I'm like, this is wild to me. I don't know, intimidated, worried, weirded out. I don't know. I wasn't used to that. That's not the way I've ever dated somebody, right? You know, you date somebody, right? You go out and take them on a date. And, you know, sometimes you may get lucky and go home with them, you know. But for somebody somebody you just met, and in seconds you're asking them to come over, I was like, man, that's crazy. So anyway, I actually kept in contact with the girl for a little while. Never went over there. It was I don't know. Sometimes it's just butter your ego, right? From just knowing that those things are possible. So I kept in contact with her for a little while until she left here. So that was my first dating experience. Once my wife and I decided to officially call this thing a separation, and like I said, we still live together even through that. But we kind of came and went, you know, as we wanted to. No questions asked. And mainly for the kids, right? And also, you know, moving out creates an additional expense, right? Now we can live together in the same place. You know, I come home, I go to my room. That's where I'm at. Or I'm outside in my car. Those are two places I was at. And we meet at the dinner table. She was still cooking, all that stuff, right? So, and that was kind of the relationship. Talk only when we needed to talk about something that was important. You know, otherwise she left me alone. I left her alone. And then we finally decided that we needed an actual physical separation. More her decision than mine. Because I was still worried about the money side of things, right? I didn't want to throw away more money if I didn't need to. So she was going to move out, and I thought it'd be cheaper for me to move than for her to move, because she's moving with the kids. And that whole entire house pretty much hers. I didn't want any of that stuff. You know, so I was like, okay, better I move. And so I made that move. And I'm still trying to get comfortable with it. Big lifestyle change for me, right? I've always lived with somebody, right? Even when I was dating back before I got married the first time, I was shacking up with women at their place. Or even when I was single, before all that, I was living in the barracks, like, right, with roommates. So since the age of, age of 19, right? This is the first time I've ever been by myself. I'm 53 years old now. That was a shock. It was different, you know. Living in a place and the only voice you hear is yourself, or your own, right? Having to take care of things all on your own, right? I tell people all the time, I don't know how you live alone, right? I like being by myself. I hate being alone, right? It's a difference, right? You know, when I was through all my marriages, right? There were, you know, even though I wasn't, you know, too big into I don't know how somebody like me gets married in the first place and have kids, right? Because that requires me having to spend time with them, right? And I wasn't, I don't know, I was kind of selfish in that I need to have my time, and so I didn't invest the time in my kids that I should have. I.e., when I talked about my first child, my first daughter, I didn't invest that time. So, and I'm paying for that later, because I missed a lot of valuable, you know, time and opportunity, right, to bond with her, you know, to know her, and that aches at me today, right? But I was a selfish individual, and I didn't know how to, actually. I didn't know how to. I felt awkward, even with my own family, my own kids, right? I felt awkward showing, you know, emotion towards them, right? I told my wife before, right? So I grew up in a household where I don't know if my mom ever hugged me, right? I went through some trauma that I don't discuss but only a handful of people. I went through some trauma in my life. And so being close to people is hard. It's part of the process, you know. So being introverted and shy and going through different ordeals and bad experiences in your life, right? All that stuff is what has made me who I am, right? So I try to keep people at a distance in most cases, right? I don't mind people that I, you know, want to be around and talk to and have conversations, right? But I try not to put too much into it, or because I had to learn how to. those are some of the things I'm learning now. It's like, I told my wife at her expense, right, that I think I will become a better person, right? Those 12 years and counting didn't help us out. Well, actually, it did kind of help us out because I think she's grown up now. I'm learning. It's a lot of pain and hurt to go through these things, right? But in the end, I think it'll work out for both of us. She'll find a relationship that's right for her. I know I'll find the right relationship that works for me, right? And I know that I'll become a better person. I'll be able to do better things, right? I'll be able to be more involved in a relationship than I've ever been in the past. And some of that, I've actually done, in the dating I've the dating life I've been in for the last 4 or 5 months, right? Dated a lot. Had more relationships in the last 4 months than I've had in my entire life. Because I've always just kind of gone for the first person I run into, right, that I feel is right for me. Next thing you know is wedding bells, and I'm locked down, right? And so I was trying to do that again, but this new generation of people, right? No. Got to get to know them, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's right, What's the is this definition of stupid, right? It's stupid, or is it what's the one? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's stupid. Maybe. If it's not, it'll come to me as I'm walking. Generating sweat now. They got this sweat top on, along with 2 additional, a long sleeve and a t-shirt. 2 additional garments under this. And I was expecting to walk this far. Or is that definition of insanity? That's what it is, right? Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So, I'm learning. I promise you I'm learning. Again, I'll be a better person because of what I've been through and the fact that I want to be better in both relationships, right, and also understanding myself. It took me a long time to even understand what introversion was and how it impacts me and affects me, right? But I started digging into that, right, and understanding my personality type, and how that impacts me. And so, I'm making that change. Again, based on the understanding, based on the willingness to want to change, based on the fact that I'm getting older, and I just want to enjoy the rest of my life. And I can only do that right by making better decisions. Right? If I put myself in another situation where I'm in a marriage that was not right for me, then I got another 10 to 12, 15 years of misery that I got to deal with, because I'm the type of person that tends to stick things out even when they're not going well. Because to be honest with you, my wife and I, we should have been divorced the day we got married, to be honest with you. That day was a telltale sign of what was to come, right? And again, not her. I'm saying that I know who I am, and I know how I affect people, or how I used to affect people. I like to say that I'm changing. And I know that, I want to spend a lot of time to myself. So that doesn't work a whole lot in a lot of relationships, right? It doesn't work too well. I got to be able to get time, That TikTok dance, I should be doing it right now. There's the bus. I actually need somebody to record me, so I got to find a partner, friend, somebody to record me doing that video, because I can't do it myself, because you have to see the whole thing. All right, so we're almost back on the strip where I'm down the street from my place. We'll be home shortly, and I'll call this where are we? 55 minutes, right? So I guess it's around about the same time as the last one. Speeding up a little bit, but I'm not gonna get home in the next 4 minutes. What's that? 4.5 minutes. Because I got to wait on the flight anyway. But again, all of this is the process. Overthinking, right? Overthinking. I just had a conversation with someone, and classic introvert, we overthink things. It's always worst case with us, right? Sky's falling. That's a natural reaction in most cases for us who call themselves introverts, right? We overthink things, right? Start to analyze things. Psychoanalysis, right? I'm gonna take this. No, I'm not. The car's coming. Yeah, all right. We're gonna take this on the red. There's no such thing as jaywalking in Korea. I don't think there's any laws that actually are on the books in Korea other than getting a traffic ticket through camera. I see people passing up police cars on the road with their sirens and lights on. So anyway, we tend to overthink things, right? A lot of my thoughts and the way I react to people, right, naturally comes from my experiences, right? I've had some totally bad, terrible, devastating, just unheard of things happen in my life, right? And when you have those things happen, right, although you know the issue is resolved, you moved on, right? There's always those comparisons, right? When you see something similar in a new relationship, right? And so you start putting people in all the people in the same box, right? You're just like that crazy one there that I used to deal with, right? When she told me this, right? And so I was having a conversation, right? And it's not intentional. A lot of these things when I'm talking to people, not intentional. These things just come out, right? And I think I said this to a person, right? I said something to a person, right? I won't repeat what I said, but I said something to a person, right? And I said it jokingly. I meant it to be a joke. It didn't come out as a joke. And as I went back and reread and thought about what I said, right, I was like, okay, I can see how that was taken as a punch in the gut, an insult. It wasn't anything close to being funny. And I realized that. But I think sometimes my psyche, I don't know how to process things, and we just kind of go to the extreme. And while I'm sitting here laughing, thinking it was funny, it was hurtful. It was a comparison. It was a slight to that person, right? I apologize profusely over and over again for the way that came out, right? It wasn't intentional. It's that pain resurfacing, right? I heard a particular response, and the response was similar to a response I've heard from somebody very negative in my life, in my past. And although that person has been long gone, it still influenced my response. So, and I think that right now, some of the people in my life right now are some of the best people I've ever had in my life. You know, there's people I talk to. I have people I talk to. They're all pulling for me, right? And it's good to have those folks, right? Nothing's really consistent, I guess, at this point, right? Because, yeah, it is what it is. But I talk to people. I have conversations. I like talking to people. In terms of something being serious, only time will tell. Only time will tell. I've been told many times in this new era of dating to don't rush the process, right? Take your time, right? And I think about my age, And I think of what I've been through, and I'm like, I don't have time. But I realize I do. I have time. I have time. You got to invest in this thing, right? Just got to put in the work. We're just over an hour now. Put in the work. Put in the time. Work on yourself. Don't overthink things. Don't do what I've been doing lately, right? Give people the benefit of the doubt. Let them prove you wrong, right? Don't let your thoughts interrupt something that may be good for you, okay? Because I can tell you, some people don't have the patience to deal with that, right? They have their own previous experiences too, right? And they don't have time to be providing free therapy to you, right? They're at where they're at in their lives, with either trying to find somebody that's right for them, or whatever their agenda is, right? Ooh, big brisk wind there. And you come in there with your problems and calling them out on things, right, that they are genuinely being honest about. Doesn't always work out that well for you. And I can tell you, I know that from, again, the past 4 or 5 months. I've done it more than once, right? So I can tell you that I'm almost an expert at this, right, at doing stupid shit. And there's my favorite word again. If you haven't seen the first episode of this retake, shit is my favorite new word. I haven't said it much while talking to you. Usually I don't usually curse, right? So it's kind of, I say that just to be grown up every now and then. But anyway, so we're back in my place. We're gonna end this here. Create a. I don't want to come to a close here. What was I saying? I don't know if you can hear that wind. Where's the flag? Let's go over here. Windy, but surprisingly not too cold. Yeah, so don't ruin your relationships by overthinking things, right? Take a pause before you respond. I'd be in a whole better situation if I learned that myself, and I'm learning it. I just happen to be right now dealing with people with patience, right? A little patience, right? People kind of understand, my plight. And so, about to get run over here. So, just kind of understand that. Is to don't judge people, man, based off of your previous experiences, right? Take each person for their word until, again, they prove you wrong. And most people, I'd like to say, have good intentions. Unless you're dealing with some of these crazy bitches down here in Piontech. I don't usually say that word. I almost never say that word. That's like up there with two of the worst words ever known to man. Fuck and bitches. And so I'm saying those two only to get them out there, and only to show my disdain for some of these people I've dealt with down here in this club district. You can't blame them, man. That's their hustle. That's what they're supposed to do. It's what you're supposed to expect. I should have the discipline and understanding to know what it is, right? I think sometimes I try to be Superman and try to rescue people and take them from an environment, right, where I don't think they should be. But I can't save everybody. I gotta save myself first. Damn, this bakery smells good. Ooh, it smells good. Stop by there on the way. Get some cakes. Get some breads. So, I mean, I can't really blame them, right? But when you meet somebody or you meet people, right, and they tell you they want a different outcome, and you take them for their word, and you find out that their agenda is completely the opposite. See, that's when you gotta, I said some bad things on the way out of that relationship, right? I said some bad things where that would never be mended. that relationship could never be mended. And I don't normally take that stance, right? I just kind of move on, right? But not this time. This time I was like, I got to make this one count, right? I put some time into this, and I had some belief in this person that they wanted to change. And when they did that to me, I was like, okay, yeah. You're gonna get everything that's in me, not only for this relationship, but any other ones in the past. So she got it. She got it. You know, she got everything I had in me. Every ounce of pain and energy went into that response, and that relationship can never be repaired. Because once you say those things, it is what it is. I'm just walking now because I was like going to cut this thing off, but I had to tell you about that story. I told some people I know I was going to write a blog about this girl. And I was told that don't waste your time, Barry. And even I preached that last week, I think, in my little walk, is that the best medicine, right, is for you to get yourself better and your situation to be better, and not to worry about other folks, right, and try to prove something to somebody or get back at somebody. Part of me still wants to do that. I probably won't. It's good to think about, I think. It's good for me to think about, like, damn, I would write a great blog post about this girl or vlog or whatever it is, and name it after her, because that was dirty. Dirty with a double R. All right? And now, what I'm going to tell you now? But I moved past that. I've moved past that. Better man now. Hey, it's a process. Trust the process. I am not getting paid to give you licensed and clinical advice. I'm only can speak off of my experiences and where I am at. Dang, that's loud. My experiences and where I'm at on my walk, on my journey, and all I can say is that, hey, it's a process I'm trying to endure. I may be at the same or ahead of where you're at in this process, but it is what it is, okay? So, here we are. We're going back up the road. We're going to turn around at some point. Probably hit the other side of the road over there and see where that takes us. Other than that, it's still kind of quiet down here for Sunday. Still kind of quiet. Some point I'm gonna grab me something to eat somewhere. I'll keep walking by all these shops here.
Are you at the King Burgers?
I gotta find something. Here's some clothes. There you go. King Kong. That's the name of it. Vape shop. I say vape shop, but I see some smoothies there. You get a vape and a smoothie? Buy one vape, get one smoothie free? I don't know. Who knows? This looks like it's Romeo and Juliet, huh? Just up there. Put the shop on. Human hair, wig, and braids. This place is, again, so much different than it was when I was here the last time. When I got here in 2004, and also when I left here in 2015. I left here in 2015. This place was nothing like this, and now it's an actual shopping district. It's an actual, nightlife. People used to leave here and go to Songtan up at the Osan Air Base shopping district, and now people stay here now. So much different place than what it used to be back in the day. So wow. So where we at? Lost my train of thought. So anyway, you and me, breakfast, lunch, restaurant, bar. What else is that? Studio D. This looks like a studio. Still trying to. And I'm looking off to my right. You can't see me. Chi-Town, burger, wings, fries. I like this. I like being here in Korea. And one of the things I tell people all the time, right? One of my main reasons for like living over here is safety. You know, I've been out late, you know, at night, come stumbling home 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes later, and I see women out there doing the same thing, right? Walking home 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, right? And you know who bothers them? Nobody. You know who bothers me? Nobody. My shoes. I come home with my shoes, my nice shoes there. It's my favorite pair of shoes. I like those. Where's it at? Right there. But, you know, hard to see. I wear a lot of Adidas, and these are Adidas, and these are. I like these. These are nice. Anyway, so I can come home with my shoes, come home with my wallet in my pocket, right? You know, I may be missing a few, right? But that's what I gave up on my own. Nobody actually physically took anything from me, so but that's I don't have to worry about being robbed. I can get on a plane, you know, or excuse me, a train, and on my own, and not worry about somebody trying to hassle me, man. I'm too old to be fighting people these days, right? My bones hurt. You know, if I can throw a punch these days. You know, I'm not 20 anymore. And so these guys, some of these folks out here in these streets, right? At least the streets back in the world. That's what I call the U.S. back in the world, right? You know, a little dangerous. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. I mean, see seniors getting picked on, right? By gangs of folks, right? And that's sad. That's just sad. It really is. So anyway, we're gonna go back around to the house, and then we're gonna call this a day. It's Sunday. Just some rest, and just kind of relax for the rest of the evening. Call it a day. How about that? All right, so coming around the corner, there's the wall. Spring Barber Korean Foods. Is this place open? The door is open. So people are already drinking. What time is it? I think I can't tell from this right here is what the time is, because it's all my camera, excuse me, pointing you down for a second. All right. Maybe let you look at that menu right there. Weekdays. Pretty good food down here. I'm gonna pop a squat on this bench over here for a second. And probably come to a closure. Okay, how about that? Let's get in this. Hey, what's up, man? That's all right. All right, so somebody thought I was somebody else. I don't usually get that. I'm one of a kind. All right, so anyway, this is Introvert Barry. Appreciate you if you stayed here and watched my little tour. And I hope you're having a great day. There's a lot of things I put out here in this video, right? A lot of messages, a lot of rambling, a lot of ranting. But it's all meant to be, you know, to share my experiences and what's going on with me in my life and my change and my process and the progress of that. And so that's the whole intent, right? I'm not a perfect person. I love that song. I keep saying it. I'm gonna sing it to you. But I'm not a perfect person. I have my challenges, my flaws, my you know, things have changed. You know, who I am and the things that have created some issues in my life. And all I'm trying to do right now at this point is to get better. Okay, so that's what this is all about. It's me getting better and sharing those experiences with you. Right, if you're going through some of the same and similar things that I'm going through, know that it's possible to experience better. And I can only share with you, the good and the bad, and occasionally there will be setbacks for me. That's normal. We'll have setbacks. You just got to learn from those, and want to get better, to want to see some, things different, to want to have the best life possible, right? Because only through living, the best life can you have the best experiences, and life is not supposed to be, I think, it's not supposed to be a struggle, right? If you find the right people first, then it shouldn't be a struggle. You should be able to get through life and with enjoyment, right? I see a lot of people who are enjoying life a whole lot better than I have, so it is possible to do that. So keep that in mind as you go forward. And that's it. Let's call it a day. I don't want to drag this on any longer. It has to be 1 hour and 16 minutes. That's where we're at right now. Again, Introvert Barry, Introverted Lifestyle. Sometimes I put an S on the end of that. It's Introverted Lifestyle. And the website's not up, but the Facebook page is. Okay. Eventually we'll get to the website and start plugging that stuff back in. I'm also about to start my advertising agency, and so we'll start to mix those things in there, because in my advertising agency, some of the same things that I've dealt with as an introvert are some of the same things that are challenges or have been challenges for me in my marketing career. Okay, so I've kind of put those two and made them one, right? And so the blog posts I'll do for Introverted Lifestyle, some things in the future will also correlate with what I'm doing in my business. And I'll share some progress with that as I go along. You're not my intended clients. It's not that I'm going to be trying to sell you in any of those posts that I do. It's mainly just to kind of share my success and how I've been able to overcome introversion and become a successful business person. And I believe that's possible and it's going to happen. Again, I have the right training, paid enough for it, right? I got the right training, I got the right mindset, right? I'm completely different in my business aspect than I was last time I approached, trying to manage and run a business. So I'm in a better space, better place, better understanding. But anyway, we'll see how that works, and we'll talk about that as we get there. So this is it's been a great day, a great hour and 18 minutes with you. So we're out of here. Take care and God bless.